these are the ones that can give you the biggest win when it comes to the Wasaki project, is that once this area is designated as an SRA, if it happens before they get granted permits, which is another timeline we have to deal with, it says, that's the other side. Where am I? Oh, I lost it. Hold on one second. Well, anyways, I don't have the exact language right there. But in an SRA area, when you're designated SRA for new existing well applications, here it is. The proposed high-capacity well must show that it has no hydrological connection to any existing natural navigable bodies of water. Okay? It doesn't get any better than that. Because everybody knows that there's a connection to the 7 mile, to the 10 mile, to the 14 mile. Okay, so that's what is being proposed right now in a new SRA area for existing permit applications. If there's any hydrological connection whatsoever, DNR cannot approve the permits. To get something like that approved is going to be a very big controversial issue for the rest of the residents of the state of Wisconsin outside of the targeted area we're talking about right now. Those folks that are not in those SRA areas are going to lose the ability to have cumulative impact assessments until they apply to be an SRA, which I hope they would do right away, because the current law would go back into place for them. So you have to understand the challenges in getting that paragraph passed into this bill are going to cause significant trade-offs in the rest of the state. And that's the challenge I'd leave you with, is how far out do you look? Do you look to locally, do you look to regionally, do you look to statewide, or do you look to make sure that the situation at home is taken care of first? So those are the challenges I lay out for you legislatively. Policy-wise, it's not hard to come up with a policy. Just getting that bill through the Assembly and the Senate and onto the governor's desk for a signature, that's going to be the challenge. So with that, I will turn the microphone over. I'm sorry, do I got more?
The citizen's voice.
Oh, sure, yeah, great point. And I think I touched on it a little bit when I started. Now's the time. And I know a lot of you have already, but your voices have made a huge difference in the beginning and in the middle. As we get towards the end here to the finish line, you need to be registering your voices even more. You need to let me know first. Let Senator Lawson know. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that Julie Lawson, our state senator, is here also. You have to let us know which way you'd like us to go with this. Is it a local issue? Is it a regional issue for you? Do we need to beef up other areas? These are the things we have to talk about. We need input on. We need to know where you stand. Besides us, it's time to start reaching out to the governor's office. And I know. It makes, listen, you think of things politically a little bit. You know, my son's here with me, and when we got here, I gave him my cell phone, and I said, Dylan, take a picture of the parking lot. When we came in here, you may have seen him stand up in the corner. I said, you know, you need to take a picture of how many people are here. That makes a difference. And when you're talking about somebody, as you know, and the governor and I are, you know, we get along on a lot of issues, obviously, with the R behind our names, but this is one we don't. But the fact is, the last 2 weeks, Governor Walker has indicated support for the bill that I've talked about here, SB 291, 8477. Partial applause, yeah, partial applause, because here comes the but. The but. The governor in the great state of Wisconsin has a very wide-reaching veto power. So any provision that we pass in any bill, the governor can say, great bill, these things all make sense, this one doesn't. So now's the point where you need to reach out to the governor, even though he's indicated support for certain provisions or certain numbers of bills. I should say you should reach out and talk about the provisions of the bill. To make sure that he understands that the sensitive resource area designations have to stay in the bill as written. That is the key component of this bill. If the sensitive resource area designations come out of this bill at any point in the Assembly, Senate, or governor's veto, then it might as well just be the GUDEX bill that gives the ag guys the ability to do whatever they think they need to do. Your voice has made a difference. Your voice is still making a difference. And I know you may not think it's going to make a difference in the governor's office, whether you think that or not. Don't let that stop you from at least sending an email. It's probably more effective, I think, than trying to call I've tried to call even, and I don't get through all the time either, so. So I just want to make you aware of all the issues and concerns and things that are going through the legislature here for the next 5 weeks until we're probably done. End of February, early January, or early March. On top of all of this stuff with the high cap well bill and the groundwater issue, there are other bills that are coming through the legislature too that I just wanted to give you a heads up and not really get into too much detail on.